Hey there, welcome to Founders Masterclass. I created this masterclass after teaching well over 10,000 entrepreneurs around the world, both analog and digital. This is a comprehensive course designed to help companies learn, grow, sustain that growth, get funded, and live happily ever after. So get ready to learn everything you've always wanted to know about startup finance, but were too afraid to ask. By the end of this class, you're going to have a customized financial model, including your growth model, growth equation, metrics, valuation, and cap table. You'll also have an investor pitch deck and a list of investors relevant to the capital source that is right for your company. So what's our why here? 50% of startups will fail within their first 4 years of operation. Now keep in mind, only 50% of startups actually have a CFO or somebody controlling their financials. So is there a correlation? Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess that those companies that failed were not tracking their numbers. Now, why would I guess that? Perhaps it's from anecdotal conversations I've had with startups. And this last statistic is what really troubles me. 77% of companies are self-funded. I know that over 80% of the entrepreneurs that I meet in Finance for Entrepreneurs are self-funded, and only 20% actually have a small friends, family, or some kind of pre-seed money. So why is that so important to me? If a majority of you can't afford a CFO, which could be about $300K per year, that's right, $300K per year, the median annual CFO salary is about $300K, with a range usually between $240K to $400K. So if you're not able to afford that, you're really going to struggle making sense of your financials, and therefore, if it's your own personal money, you are actually affecting your own personal wealth. This is the why. This is why we care about startup finance. So let's go ahead and take a peek in week one. In week one, we're going to focus on getting to know your buyer, your user, and your customer, whatever nomenclature you use for your business. We're going to research both competitors and complements to fully understand the competitive landscape. We're going to develop out your pricing model, your revenue model, and your growth equation. So your revenue model really just tells you how you're bringing money into your company. There are 4 key revenue models we're going to focus on in this course: subscription model, e-commerce model, ad model, and brick and mortar. I will introduce you to well over 80 different ways you can monetize your company. So whether you're thinking of a subscription model, e-commerce model, ad model, or good old brick and mortar, I've got you covered. And then your growth model is going to outline how you're bringing awareness to your product or service and how you're monetizing that awareness. So regardless of your revenue model, every company has a growth model. And then your growth equation is simply a calculation that you use to determine what makes your company grow. Now, each company is different, but each company uses the same exact equation. Now, in week 2, we're going to dive into revenue and expense assumptions that are used to benchmark your company's growth. The Salient 6 is a methodology that I came up with to make startup finance very easy to understand. We're going to then decide the best metrics for your business. Last, we're going to put together a valuation estimate. So I know you may not be ready for a priced round, but you may come across a valuation cap in your term sheet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. We'll cover priced rounds and valuation caps as we get going. Your financial model is going to tie everything together. It's the document that holds all the data from week 2. It brings in the revenue and expenses of your company. It maps to the metrics, the valuation, the cap table, everything. Now, don't start to panic. I know everybody hates doing financial models, but let's get this straight right now. This is not your grandpa's financial model. We utilize the Salient 6 to construct an easy to build and easy to track financial model. And your metrics are simply added into that so you can track and determine whether your company is on track or not. Your valuation is just going to be conducting a reasonable valuation range that you can use. Even if you're not doing a price round, you always want to make sure that you have a general valuation range. And then last, we drop in that cap table to show you who owns what percentage of your company. Now, this is key to managing your company's dilution and making sure that you actually have a healthy and robust amount of your company left when you exit. In week 3, we're going to cover all the various sources of capital available to your company and determine which is the best for you. We'll develop your funding strategy and learn what makes your investors tick. Last, I'll show you the 10 must-have slides you need when pitching investors. We tend to think of sources of capital as angel investors, and venture capital. And I'm here to tell you there is a plethora of ways to fund your company. And once we've completed all this prep work, we're going to put this into a powerful story. That's when our investor pitch deck comes into play. And last, week 4, you're going to develop your list of investors for your company. These investors are specific to your company. I'll show you how to find them, pitch them, and close them. And of course, that investor follow-up, which is so important. It's important to know actually who you're going to pitch before you pitch them. So you're going to want to make sure that you create a well-vetted list of investors and start to get to know them before you need them. And here's my promise to you. If you give me 30 days, I promise to give you a well-tuned money-making machine. Are you ready to jump in? All right, let's go.